I'm Eric Scheidler, Executive Director of the Pro-Life Action League. We're based in Chicago. I live in Aurora myself, and we're out here in Joliet today with this Face the Truth campaign, trying to really evoke sympathy for the victims of abortion, the unborn children who die at the hands of abortionists 2,500 times every single day. And we really feel like focusing on the children and giving them a voice, giving them a face, being there for them is the way to find some kind of common ground on this issue. We really need to recognize the humanity of these children. Every single one of us began life in our own mother's wombs, began life as an embryo, as a fetus, and those were the first and perhaps most formative days of our lives, certainly the most vulnerable days. And it's that vulnerability we're trying to highlight here and evoke some sympathy for these children to try to get people thinking and talking about this issue with the children foremost in their minds, because we can't allow ourselves to have this kind of callous attitude towards any stage of human life. And this is the most vulnerable stage that we're trying to evoke sympathy for right now.
Oh, one more question. What do you think makes it so hard for people to come to the table to respectfully talk about it?
Well, we know this is a very political issue, and it's tied in with so much about American lifestyle. I mean, we've staked our lives in a lot of respects on the availability of abortion to deal with the consequences of our bad choices. We choose to sleep around. We choose to engage in intercourse without any regard to its consequences, and that's got to end, because human beings' lives are being destroyed. These children's lives, and so many other lives too. It's all tied in together with the issue of divorce, with single parenthood, with an attitude towards the other that we don't know, the stranger. You know, we're seeing a polarization in our society. We're seeing it's more and more difficult for people to talk across the aisle on any number of political issues. We demonize those that disagree with us. We demonize those that are different from us. And the unborn child is one of those victims of demonization. So I think that's part of why it's so difficult for people to talk about this issue. We've staked so much of our lifestyle on an attitude towards sex that leads to death. I mean, that sounds harsh, that may sound wacky to people, but just look at the pictures and you'll see. So we've got to recognize the consequences of those choices before we're ever going to come to any kind of understanding.